This, oh baby, we in 4D, 4D, 401k. No, yeah. Did you cook? What you make? What did you make? I did not eat. What did you make? What is nice food? Ooh. Oh, so what's up with you today, girl? I ain't got no pants on. You ain't gotta look. I just got a nice shirt on and a cardigan. I'm so excited that I could just put my hands up here. All my red books are here. Anyway, hi, I'm Jeff, and you're here. All right, so 2 things. One, it's gloomy today. I got my ring light on. You can see the glare in my glasses. I'm sorry, but I need to see. Ooh, I can have my hair like this the whole time, period. And two, I hope the audio sounds a little better because, got me a little microphone situation going on, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Let's get it. Before we get started, Black lives do have and will always matter. There will be links in the description for you to check out. And just remember, it is our responsibility to protect Black women every single day. And unfortunately, to add to that little saying, I would also like to say justice for Walter Wallace Jr., a mentally ill Black man who was killed by cops in Philadelphia last week. And to all my protesters out there, please, please, please be safe. And to the people who want to be a part of the protests, even if they can't be there physically, reach out to people you know who are holding protests. Reach out to them and see what you can do to help. I will be linking my friend Chris Bowman. I'll have all his information down below. He runs this organization called I Will Breathe, and they basically just hold peaceful protests in the local Philadelphia area. So I'll have all his information and stuff linked down below. But yeah, y'all just stay safe, stay protected, and stay Black, period. Y'all, I read 8 books this month. All right, y'all, so let's start off with the 4-star. We have Junji Ito's No Use Escaping Tomi. I read this in about a day. I'm giving this 4 stars because here's why. Because I know it was good, but I don't know how to effectively rate manga yet, because I haven't really, I'm gonna put this down because my arm hurts, it's heavy. Don't really read them, so it was really good. Like, if this was just a straight book, I rated it basically on, if this was just a straight book, this probably would have gotten probably 4 stars too. I think also my issue with it, I like storylines, and this kind of, it had like 2 or 3 of the books would have a storyline, and then it would just be like a standalone and then a new storyline. It was just like, unless I read it wrong and I'm tripping, but I really don't think I am. The art, simply fantastic. Like, y'all see this? My favorite story in all of them was, girl, I'm all over the place with this, is hair. So basically, right, I'm gonna give y'all a quick little snippet of what's really popping. This girl, she can never die. Never, ever, never, ever, never. Never, ever, never, ever, ever. And every time you kill her, people was like grinding her up. And no, I don't mean like, flaming and telling jokes. I'm talking literally put her in a meat grinder, grind her up. Every little piece that they would chop would end up being a new her, right? So eventually, it's just too many Tomies, and they're just out here and they're just trying to really get men to kill them, right? So in this particular story, this girl was just in her dad's room and was going through his stuff, his secret box or whatever, and saw this picture of hair. And so she took it. She was like, it's the most beautiful hair I ever saw in my life. Like, oh my God, I need it, I need it, I need it. It was like probably 6A grade Indian loose wave with 150% density. Like, that's the only way I feel that it would just be that beautiful for you just to take the picture. But she took the picture, put it in her own secret box. She told her friend about it, right? And her friend was like, okay, girl, whatever. But when she had opened the box one time, she was like, girl, look, the hair is growing out. Like, it's real strands or whatever. So this weirdo who found this picture in her dad's room took the hair and just went boop to her friend. And her friend was like, girl, stop playing, get this hair out of my head. You don't know where it come from. Girl, the hair can't come out. It can't come out. So then the girl, the friend with the weird dad, put the hair in her hair too. And she was like, well, boop, period. And so now it's Tommy's hair, okay? So now both of the girls can hear Tommy. But then one day the friend was in class and she started talking to nobody. And then with a weird girl, she started talking to nobody, and her friend is like, what is going on? And she was like, girl, yeah. The weird girl was like, yeah, girl, I saw Tommy. And her friend was like, what you mean you saw Tommy? And she was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I guess it was the hair that I put in my head. And then the friend was like, okay, but I put hair in my head too. So weird girl was like, yeah, but what I did was, come closer, I cut off all my hair and replaced all my hair with her hair. So now I'm basically her. And instead of the friend being like, girl, that's weird, the friend gets jealous, like, oh my gosh, I want to see Tommy too. I want to see Tommy too. And the weird girl is out here just passing the hair out to their friends, because now it's like overflowing out the box from the picture. And her dad is looking for the picture. She like, I ain't got the picture. But then because she has Tommy's hair and she starts looking like Tommy one time or whatever. And so now the friend is like all jealous with her. Girl, it was just too much. But I'm just here to show you the details, honey. Like, you can see every strand of hair. Okay, the detail for me. Our second 4-star, we have Grown by Tiffany Jackson. Sorry, let me tell you why. This book was good. This book was really good. But, okay, so basically, right, this book is about a young girl who is accused of killing this really famous singer in her time or whatever. And through investigating and stuff, we find out that he was actually on some Robert Kelly mess. Like, he was just out here marrying young women, if not marrying them, kidnapping them and holding them hostage. And you know, he was abusive or whatever. And but yeah, she killed him, but she doesn't remember killing him, right? So we spend most of the book really just going back into time with her explaining the story. They end up getting into a secret relationship. This man is like 28 or 29. The twists were great. The turns were great. I just feel like this is just her writing style, because this is the second book of hers that I've read that it's basically like you get this whole story written out and then the truth comes out and it's like not what you expected but also what you expected. But other than that, the build up was great and we're just gonna keep it pushing. Next, first 5-star we have is Home Before Dark. Okay, first of all, this cover's glow in the dark by Riley Sager. Sorry. Anyway, this cover's glow in the dark. So this book right here, it follows this young girl named, what's her name, child? Named Maggie Holt. Her father wrote a book about this haunted house that they lived in for one summer. She doesn't believe what her dad wrote. Like, it's no way that I was here, that you're telling me that I'm the main character of a book and I saw ghosts when I was younger and I was talking to Mr. Shadow and Miss Pennyface and the little girl. Like, I don't believe you, right? So her father dies and her father leaves her all the money he made from the book, so $400,000, and keys to the house. Now Maggie owns her own. Her and her friend renovate houses and they flip them for a profit, which is such a good idea. But back to the story. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to this house for a little bit. I'm gonna see what's up with it and I'm gonna sell it right back. We're gonna flip this house. We're gonna make money. I don't want any memories. I don't want anything to do with this house. Her tune, it changes, okay? First of all, she ends up sleeping in the house. If you're renovating in a house, ain't no need for you to be sleeping in it. The Property Brothers don't sleep in a house that they renovating. So why you, Maggie Holt, did you think that you was going to sleep in a haunted house and just think it's going to be peaches and cream 112? Like, no, girl, come on. Get your and leave. Peace out, okay? But she said, huh? What you wearing? Let me see. Let me see it fit. Period. Okay, okay. Well, bring an umbrella. It's raining. Bring an umbrella. It's raining. An umbrella. Mommy, on parapluie. No, put ton parapluie dehors, la fait la pluie. First of all, mind your P's and Q's. Yeah, so she gets to the house. She meets this young man named Dale. He was a little fine or whatever. Weird stuff starts happening. And what else goes on in this book? This book is 5 stars and you just need to read it like for real. This book, I listened to the audiobook. Next, first we match. Remembrance, Rita Woods. This book, fire.
You're laughing. I'm not playing. I'm dead serious. You think it's a game? Get fired on these bitches one time.
What? She's embarrassed. So this book follows, first of all, relax. This book follows 4 Haitian women, Gael, Abigail, Margot, and the 4th person, I'm not going to tell you her name because finding out her name is actually a really key point of the book, okay? So this book, Gael is a Haitian woman, a refugee who came to America after the earthquake in 2010, a day I will never forget. And she is really close to this one resident that no one seems to get along with, right? And next thing you know, we're transported back to, then we go back to 1857 with Margot, and she's in New Orleans. She is a slave who was taken from Haiti and brought to America, and she is, you know, just chilling. She is a house slave, and her sister were promised freedom by the time that they turned 18. But of course, the white man's a liar. They don't get their freedom. Their grandmother, who was on the plantation with them, she ends up doing something that they get blamed for. And so Margot was like, you know what, I'm gonna just take my sister and we're just going to dip, because in retaliation, the slave owner went and sold them right before they turned 18, because they knew that if they sold them, then it's like, you're still my property before you're 18, and then our deal is null and void after, you know, if you're going to someone else. So her and her sister escape. They run into this woman named Abigail. Actually, they run into this place where this Haitian witch named Abigail made specifically for the slaves. It was a place that white men couldn't see. Like, there were parts in the book where Margot would say, yeah, we were standing right in front of them, but he just walked right by us. Like, Abigail was powerful enough to basically create a city that was invisible to white men, and she called it Remembrance, and that's where slaves ran, and if they ended up there, they knew that they would be safe. Her magic was powerful enough to surround the people for a period of time, but eventually, you know, all things go wrong, and you're really just going back and forth between Margot and Abigail. I could have done without Gael's point of view just because I was more interested in everything else. Like, her chapters were really just a palate cleanser for me, which this is why this book is still getting 5 stars, because that was really needed and necessary. Because when I tell you this book, bro, this book blows up, okay? It uses actual phrases in Creole, which y'all know I can appreciate. Definitely 5 stars. Pick this up. Read this. You will not be disappointed. Next, let's talk about my boo-bae, Taj. This is Crown of Thunder, Tochi Onyebuchi. I know y'all probably thought I meant Tochi was my boo-bae. I mean,
your call.
This is the second book in the Beast Made of Night, duology. It's just the two of them. I don't think there's gonna be a third, and that makes me really sad. This book, y'all, it did it for me. Y'all know what it is. Anything Tochi, I'm going to love you. So it just doesn't matter. But anyway, this follows Taj after he leaves the Empire, and he is burdened with saving the people. No matter how many sins he absorbs, nothing seems to happen to him. Like, he is just living his life. Okay, so this book, we're introduced to a few new characters. So him, I can't really say too much because this is the second book. Him and Aaliyah, they encounter the Tastalik, which are basically the Aki, sin eaters. Where they're called Tastalik, they're revered. They're not treated like just regular bums off the street like what Taj is used to. So of course he has to battle with what kind of Tastalik he actually is, because even though he wants to do good now, and even though he thought eating sins was good at the time he was doing it, he now is seeing that it actually wasn't. Like, it actually, if you couldn't afford to get your sins eaten, then you just die. Like, he just saw that as bad or evil, but he realized that, you know, killing people and hurting people, that could make him seem that can make him be that. So he was just, you know, of course, our little Taji was just arguing with himself. Aaliyah is a queen. She's a boss. She's godly. Like, I can't tell you who comes back. I can't tell you who dies, because it's like, y'all finna look at me like, wait. So I can't do that. But what I can do is tell y'all to read this, because this book was fire. Next, I read Ray Bearer by Jordan Ifu Echo. I just cannot.
I can't. Monica, I can't. I've tried, and you know what I found out? That I can't. No. I've looked into it, and I found out that I can't. I've researched it, and I found out that I can't.
This had everything. I had Reluctant Hero. It had Waiting Evil. It had Good and Evil, I guess. It had the Anti-Mentor. Oh my gosh. It had all the reps. It had asexual representation. It had just finally a book where the main character falls in love with the person they're supposed to fall in love with. Like, the loves were different. You could clearly see romantic love versus friendship love. Enemies to friends all over the place. The war. This book here, I need a second one. I don't know why Jordan Ifueko thought that they could just put this book out and not have a release date for the second book. It's the disrespect for me. It's this book, good. You cannot put it down. You laugh, you cry, you are befuddled, you're confused. You literally go through every emotion reading this book. And honestly, I literally just want to reread it. That's just what I want to do. I just want to reread it. Who gonna stop me, boo? Who gonna check me, boo?
Who gonna check me, boo? I have.
Anyway.
Period. Next, we have Deathless Divide. I have a picture of it right here for you. I read this with Michelle and Adelaide. All these books that I just mentioned, I read with Michelle. Yes, period. We was on a roll this month because September we read 4 books, and we was just like, no ma'am, no ma'am.
No ma'am. No ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So yeah, Death is Divide. I read that with Michelle and also my friend Adelaide, who has also really been helping me on this get back to reading journey. You feel me? Adelaide, I know you be watching me, girl. That's for you. But girl, I can't give you too much of this either, because this is the second book to Dread Nation, which I got put onto because of Kayla talking about some,
I'm not really sure about this book. Can you read this book and tell me what you think? And you know, if you don't like it, I'ma just DNF it. Cause I tried to read it before and I didn't like it. And I was like, girl, okay. Got a little sample on Kindle and I zoomed through that thing. I said, girl, you tripping, you gotta read this junk.
so I said, let me just do the audiobook and zoom through that. The narrator was fantastic. Narrators were fantastic for that book. And literally, as soon as we all finished the first one, we were just like, all right, so we're gonna read the second one. I can't tell you what I don't like about the book, because then y'all will know the differences between the first book and the second book, and I can't tell y'all that right now. But just know. Alright, y'all, so in my excitement, I definitely didn't even tell y'all what the book is about. Okay, so this book follows Jane and Catherine, not Kate, as they are making their way through America post Civil War. So basically, the Civil War happens, and there now are also zombies. So, black girls, they get sent to this like training school, and they learn how to kill zombies, or shamblers as they're called. So they go on, their adventure. In the first book, Catherine's whole thing is that she wants to find her mom, and well, you figure out what Jane's whole thing is in the second one. This book was really good. The introduction of new characters was really good. The use of the two different perspectives was fantastic. The writer had a great way of actually distinguishing who was who, as opposed to just writing in one way and just letting people assume who it was. Like, honestly, y'all, this book was freaking amazing, and you guys need to read it ASAP, but read Dread Nation first. Last but certainly not least, I cannot stress this enough, certainly not least, I gotta put the cover back on. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. X Games mode. Legend Born by Tracy Dion. I need a minute. Wow. Look, I annotated this book like crazy. I wasn't playing. Bree wasn't playing. Nate wasn't playing. Tor was playing though. Tor was playing. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Tor was playing. Selwyn wasn't playing. Selwyn ain't come to play. Lord Davis was on some stuff. You know what? I ain't gonna talk about it. But he was on that. He must have been on that Krenak. He had to have been on that Krenak for a while he was talking.
This is ridiculous. What is going on in here? We get crack at the end?
Tyrone, you know I love you, but I feel like drugs is hurting you, and they're hurting me.
Mademoiselle? Comment vous êtes?
Je vous aide bien. Y'all, this book, okay, so this book follows 17-year-old, she's 17, right? Nope. 16-year-old Bree Matthews, who her mom had just died, and she's grieving, and she thinks the best way to cope with that is to basically get out of where she is and go to, I want to say UNC, their accelerated college program, because that's where she wanted to go anyway, because that's where her mom went, right? So she gets there she goes with her best friend, and that's when all hell breaks loose. She gets in trouble at a party, and she gets assigned this student guide person, and the student guide person turns out to be Nate, and she finds out about the secret society by accident, and she convinces Nate to let her join under him as his scion. He feels like that this has something to do with the murder of her mother, well, with the death of her mother, because she remembers a very specific magical event that happened around that time. Joins the secret society. Everything's good. It's basically descendants of King Arthur and members of the Round Table. So Sir Gawain, Sir Owain, Lancelot, Arthur, like Nate and Bree, they're the only fictional relationship that I stand so hard. Like, usually if romance pops up in a fantasy novel where there's supposed to be war and stuff, I'm just like, why are we here? This is not what I signed up. But these two, I was in love at the first moment that they were in love. And that says a lot, because y'all know how I feel about love. But yeah, she joins the secret society. She's finding things out. And on top of finding things out about the secret society, she's finding things out about her and her ancestral root. Comes to be contradictory to what she's learning about in the secret society, right? So decisions has to be made. Girl, y'all, this is not a detailed review, but just know, y'all, this book right here, I'm just so upset with myself that I finished it so soon, because now I have to wait for a second one. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to wait for a second one, because now I gotta wait for a second one of this and a second one of this. It's just too much. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. We should have waited until we got the cover reveal for the second book. And then I could have just been like, you know what? Might as well read the first book, because by the time I'm done the first book, the second book will be out. But I didn't do that. And now I gotta wait. Just, I'm very impatient. It's when the book is that far. And now,
we have to sit out here and wait a long periodically time.
And I don't want to wait a long periodically time. It's my money and I need it now. Well, it's my money and I want to spend it now. Come on. Anyway, if y'all want a review on any of these books, please comment down below, and I will do a review on the 2 most requested books. I will post this also on my Instagram. I'm trying to use my Twitter more, so it'll also be on my Twitter. Vote. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all until the 14th to let me know what 2 books y'all want me to review. Honestly. Oh, and let me know if y'all want it to be spoiled or spoiler free. Okay, well, that's all I have for you for today. I have to go because I have more books to read, but I will be seeing me in the next one. Bye.